I remember most about him is that the way he interacts with you. Once you get in contact with him, he's like you had known him for a long, long, long time.
Pepe was a guy, he was so good to me sometimes. I used to run charter fish up here, and he will let his staff and them to know if Nando come and he want any fish or anything in the reef. That's when he used to be in charge.
He sat on my tourist committee for many years as the local representative for restaurants, and he never missed a meeting, and I admired him for that.
We were great buddies. And we knocked glasses together a lot whenever we beat up.
As a young man growing up in Lower Bay, I idolized him. I think he molded me into being the type of person that I am today. He always gave me good advice, and yeah, he was a good mentor for me.
Like he was my role model. I would have liked to walk in his footsteps.
After my dad died, he was nearly like a father figure who you looked up to, the biggest brother, you know.
Well, he was humble, passionate, loving, caring.
He was admired by a lot of people throughout the Caribbean, not just regionally, but also internationally. We had many friends that respected what he did as a community person.
Always helpful, especially helping people with the education. We always believe in that, sponsoring guys and so on.
He was an amazing example of this charismatic, kind individual who led by example.
Really, really, really big heart. Love to help. He was an amazing soul.
Whenever he walks into the room just lit up.
He was one of the true old school gentlemen. They don't make them like that anymore.
For me, he was genuine.
Down to earth, very, very kind-hearted.
A true Beckwith man.
He was a man of few words, but whenever he said something, it was something of import.
Sylvester done so many things in his life. I mean, I think he did. He was a school principal. He was working with Beckwith District Council. He ran the reef. He was on ships as navigator. He was mates and those boats and everything like that. So he did a lot, you know what I mean?
And he was also a very good cricketer.
His passion was, I think, the ocean, sailing, races.
Fishing was his main thing.
He loved gardening, and when we were growing up, he did love to clean. He was the one who cleaned. He cleaned the house, cleaned the yard.
He loved his children, and he treated them very well. He gave them a sound education, each and every one of them, up to university level.
Well, I know he loved Remy Martin cognac.
I think he had fun, looking back at the older folks sometimes and repeating the things they used to say, what they made jokes of. And he would bring them back to your memory and laugh a lot about that.
He loved people. You know, he had a really good heart. He loved to help people. He did all kinds of contribution to this little island. But he is the type of guy, he would do these things, but he didn't want any, what must I say, you know. He did it out of his heart. Yeah. He did not want a lot of people to know about it, you know. He just wanted to do good things for people, and that was it, yeah. That was Sylvester.
Oh yes, Sylvester Simmons, the only man that ever give us a $5,000, just come up and give us, said, look, you need to go to Tartola, here is $5,000 with your crew. Very nice, I love that man.
People looked up to him for guidance and advice, and if you had a problem, you could really go to him. You know, he gives you advice from his heart, and if it was anything, whatever you told him stayed with him.
He helped a lot of people as well.
if it's not going out on bulk or getting a job for them, help assist in education.
And nothing was too much for him to give. He tried to help everybody. And a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people know how much Pepe really, the impact he made on Beckway in particular, you know.
Lower Bay would not be what it is today without Sylvester and the creation of the Reef Bar and Restaurant. It set the tone for the vibe in Beckway, which is not your upscale, snobbish type of establishment, but a place where everybody feels comfortable.
He's one of the best guy in the village I ever met.
Yeah, he was like the mayor of Lower Bay, I'm telling you.
He would surely wish that the younger people would look back a little to the older ones and maybe take a step in their direction, like, things they used to do, how they used to preserve things.
I think he will want to see more of the young people get back into the sailing. I think we kind of losing some of our great tradition.
He would have wished to see the regatta on a whole taken to another level. I think he would have wished to see more participants throughout, or bridging the gap between the Grenadines and the other islands like Grenada, Carriacou.
What Pepe would wish for most for the future for Beckway is for people to be kind to each other.
I had 50 years of marriage with him, and before that we had dated for about 5 years. So we had at least 55 years, right? So every part of him was me and the children. So I miss quite a lot of him.
I remember him picking me up from the reef to carry me home. He would be lifting me up, and that continued until I was about 10. He said, he can't do this no more. I'm a big hardback boo-boo. The time I could more than walk. So he stopped. And it wasn't until I was a parent that I sort of thought about that, because I can't imagine picking up a 10-year-old, let alone my youngest who's 4. I can only imagine doing it till she's about 5. So it sort of brings me back to how they say, fathers are closer to their daughters. In some sense, that's what it is.
I asked him, I said, when your grandmother gave you all this responsibility, I said, were there any fine prints in it? Because I've seen that, he has the full weight of everything. And he turned to me and he said, one day, you may be surprised, it will be your responsibility. And today, here I am. Walking, I believe, in the same path, to an extent, from what he did.
Another memory that comes to mind is when he used to teach me to fish off the reef with just a line and a hook. And if I caught a jakey, you say, that means you ain't a good fisherman. Good fisherman don't catch jakey. So I would always keep trying to catch anything else but a jakey. So I was persistent until I catch cobbler, and then I catch snapper. Anything else but a jakey. If you catch a jakey, throw that back, because it's just shameful. So in some senses, it kind of taught me to persevere, to keep going for the better, keep going for the best, keep striving. So these simple lessons, which might not have seemed a big deal, did spread out throughout my life, and I'm grateful for it. And
even at the time of his death, he made me laugh because he said, I was the sweetest Simmons. So I remember the last words for him, on his dying bed. He was the sweetest Simmons.
Well, thanks for being who you were. And I hope all is well with your soul.
Bye.